Alright guys, welcome back to Beautiful Mind today, and we're just going to be, it might be a long one today, we're just going to be talking about a lot of stuff here. So first thing we're going to be talking about is what's happening in June. We were expecting a little swing top at the beginning of the month, like we were indicating, as the moon pulled into Aries and Taurus. And then we know that we're going to be having some kind of a bottom breakout or some kind of fast move up at the end of the month. And that doesn't mean that this month, excuse me, is a month that will take us right off. However, this month here is expected for a top here, our first one, and a major pullback. A sharp pullback, and then a major top taking place when these two bodies get together here. Okay, so that's August. So take a look at that. Pause this and go have a look at my things. Okay, that's June. So we're going to talk about the form here. This is the square, and in it, this is the strongest side of the square. These are the angles within the 1 times 1 angle, and then a 1 times 2, 1 times 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. So this is the strongest side of, sorry if it's moving around, this is the strongest side. This is straight out of WD Gann's course. I own all his courses and books. Okay, so here, this is the first weakest side of the bear side of the triangle. And notice the angles here that cut up, and they're always the same angle on either side. This here is the weakest side, like way weaker. So take a look at this one here as we move through. I did a tutorial on this already. We're going to do a little synopsis of this here again. So strongest position in a bear market. We're going to go talk about our 45-degree angles and discuss all those too. Also from bottoms where also where angles cross. We're going to talk a little bit about this as well, where you can see the asset. Angles from 0, form 7. We're going to take a look at those. You can see those. We're going to talk about all this on our chart as well. 90-degree angles as well, where we think that an asset has broken our 45-degree angle and where it may come back to, just like this one. So Form 9, again, 45-degree angles, 1 times 2, and we're doing a parallel angles from our tops here, and we can find and zero in on the next area where potential, just a blow-off top or just before the blow-off. So that's an important one. Form 10, again, failing market here, where it just won't move up any higher. We run our 45-degree angles down and our 1 times 2, and when it fails to get above our 1 times 2 angle, that's right, Humpty Dumpty, and it comes back to our 45-degree angle. And if it gets super weak, we run a subsequent 45-degree angle to find the low, or a 1 times 2. That's Form 10. Form 11, again, failed top again. Again, running a channel from our 45-degree angle, staying below our 1 times 2 angle means weakness. And noting that we could do a short anywhere up to this 1 times 2 angle would be a terrific area to get out of your short position and cover. And as well as, anyone that gets into a long position, this is a good place to get out again. So range 12. Well, what can I say? You know, if it's a range like this of 16 points or whatever, then yeah, or whatever your asset is doing. So that's the range of 12, or the range of whatever it is that you would be trading. For instance, right now our range right now for Bitcoin is 55 and 72 right now. Okay, so we talked about angles. We're doing this on our chart. This is Gann's maize soybean. I hope you can see this really good. I really hope you can see this. Now that Vimo has changed my viewing platform, it's really annoying now. So this is a Jupiter trend line, and this is a Mars trend line. Okay, and these two, well, they coincide, and Uranus is here as well, but on the opposite side of the circle on my square. And this represents the 30 degrees of the zodiac, okay, or 30 points, or where an asset starts into that area of the chart, which is the next sign. So here, where this is saying that Jupiter is entering now the 30th degree of Sagittarius, so it's entering Capricorn, right? So here it's in Scorpio until it enters and crosses this. And this is exactly, if you go have a look at my free tutorials showing you exactly how you can line up these planets using, and you need to use my square and stuff, and with my zodiac it's the only way. Otherwise it's all guessing games, and that's how we do it. So this is how he does it. Anyways, go look for that. It's maize soybeans 1948 1949, excuse me. Anyways, you can go check out that whole campaign. Well, we don't do the whole campaign, we just do parts of it. Anyways. Okay, so what are we doing? What's Bitcoin doing? All right, so back to the square. And we were stating now, 45-degree angles. Let's just go over them really quickly. 45-degree angle is the most important angle. It shows you the strength and the weakness. If we put our extension angles on any of our parallel angles, we can find our tops and bottoms. We talked about this. We're going to go ahead and talk about these. What did we see here? We did a 45-degree angle running down. When the asset crossed over this angle from our current bottom, we squared out this, and this is where we took off from. So from here, I should have put a line here, but I didn't. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So the 45-degree angles, and we're knowing that the asset likes to vibrate around the 45-degree angles. So getting above them means it will seek other 45-degree angles. So therefore, we run parallel angles. Okay, so we made a top, and we ran our 45-degree angle down, and noting that the asset, right, did not break. I know it looks like, oh yeah, it did, but no. Here's this, it's right on the angle. So we ran up again. Here we made a bottom. We didn't lose this area. And again, we ran up. We didn't lose this area. So again, we ran up. We topped out on this angle, and we came back subsequently and retested this. Failing to break above this top meant weakness, and we watched this really closely because we knew that something was going on here. We were either breaking over and getting real active, or we were gonna go sideways and test this stuff and move down maybe. And that's precisely and exactly what we did. So watching our 45-degree angles, we ran them from all our tops here. You can see that we like to vibrate back to that. Today I ran down and ran our 45-degree angles from our top. We talked about this now, our zero angles earlier on. Go back and look at the beginning of my tutorial where we talk about a zero angle and where the asset comes back and rests on that. We can also find it by extending our 1x2 angles. So I was going to draw another 45-degree angle up from here, but it's just so perfect that our zero angle from 38 right here from our top here squared out and found our bottom. I just continue to use that. And we were talking about this angle here, right? Resting on this 69 was our area we were watching out for, right up in this area. And we said that 67 after, if we didn't get like above our 66, you know, we're going to start moving down. And where could we go? Well, we had our 1x2 angle. It's our half of our 45. And that's exactly what we've been doing, testing this. Losing this means down here, and testing this angle, and maybe and possibly coming back here. Now, breaking above this 45-degree angle, coming down here, would indicate strength. I don't expect us to break above this quite yet. I still think that we're going to get a higher low around this end of, or the third week or whatnot, subsequent, you know, of June. We were talking about that on the ephemeris at the beginning. Go back and look at that. So these are our points, and I've run a zero angle, you can see now, not just from our top or whatever, but again, locking our next bottom together. We can see that breaking and failing through this, right? Failing to hold this. Yeah, it's back down to this bottom. So what could that mean? Well, back to this area. And we have a couple of crosses here on these. If we fail to make it above this, then yeah, we're going to be hanging around in here. So that's what it looks like, right? For sure. Let's go take a look at our indicators. Oh, bad news right here. Look at this one. Right? And it looks like it's about to turn around here. Where it looks like we're making a bottom now, finally. But we don't know. I mean, we can continue on now. We've had a few fake outs where it looked like it was going to come up, and then we had a fake out and another move down. So we're watching for this, right? We're not out of the woods yet. So, right? Stochastic, it is our leading and lagging indicator. However, it is showing when we do get to extremes, it's time to pay attention. So we're about due for a turnaround here sometime soon in the next few weeks. So looking at that, our discovery is still on schedule. Okay, so back to the chart again. Looking at this again, here again. This is our savior angle here. If we break this, this is our last hope right here. If we break this, yeah, it's back down, you know. We don't want to see that, but you know, it would be good to see this last washout. And we have another one in July. We talked about that in our earlier ephemeris with the cycle that Jupiter was doing. Once it comes back to 11 degrees, it's going to be at around a top, and that'll be around the 15th or so. And then it'll be back down around 13 degrees around the third week of July, as we were talking. Go ahead and look back earlier on my ephemeris. So it could be, we could be back to here, or we could be down here. We'll see. It's going to be a really there's a lot of volatility here. The petrodollar is done. We've talked about a few of those things with gold, and gold is, or oil is now, it's being measured in watts, right? 267 watts. We were looking at that earlier. So if gold and silver or the metals market gets absorbed by Bitcoin, and Trump is saying that Bitcoin is all American, and and it's up against the Yearn Finance, and that's a tokenized asset. And if they do put gold on there, then holy crap. But America is talking about doing the same thing, so this is a pretty big thing. So, but it's wide open right now. It's a gold market. If you got gold, you can make that an asset or tokenize it either way, which is a really strange thing. A token is a security, and an asset is not regulated. So it's a really weird thing. But anyways, so what are we going to see moving forward here? I really honestly think we're retesting this area, and I think honestly we're going to be resuming possibly another test of this area here at least, and possibly down to this 60 area. Like, that's just still in the cards. Like, we could do a little Humpty Dumpty right here again. We already just did that. So, and speaking of which, like, how much are we back? 10%, 8%? Yeah, there you go. Right? We're back like 9%. Excuse me. So, pretty normal right now. We could still fall. Remember now, a normal, right, 20%. Right back to our old bottoms, guys. We can do that. It's like so easy. We've been doing 20% whips like nothing, and this one is 23% back to here. This one's 21% right here in one day though. So none of this taking forever to do that stuff. That's the business. Anyways, looks like we're about to experience another rollover here and a retest of this area here as we get ready for, the resumption of our bull market in the latter part of June therein. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I gave you a little bit of stuff to look at there, so